Life Science Tutor welcomes you on YouTube. Now we are going to discuss a very important topic of developmental biology, that is vulva formation in C. elegans. C. elegans is a small 1 mm long free-living soil nematode, hermaphroditic in nature, non-parasitic and diploid organism. Total number of chromosomes are 6, total number of genes 19,000 and total number of somatic cells 959 cells. Embryonic development just requires 16 hours, so ideal candidate for experimental biologist. Fertilization is occurred at first meiotic division of egg. C. elegans follow invariant cell lineage, means that each cell give rise to the same number and type of cells in every embryo. Fertilization in C. elegans is not your typical sperm meets egg theory. Here is fertilization occurred within a single adult individual that produces both sperm and egg. In early larval stages, C. elegans behave like a male and produce sperm that is stored in sperm theca. In late larval stages, C. elegans behave like a female and its gonads produce egg. Egg become fertilized by rolling through a region of embryo called sperm theca that containing mature sperm. Sperm of C. elegans is small, round, unflagellated and amoeboid sperm. Single egg roll through the lots of sperm, so there is high chance of polyspermy. So polyspermy is prevented by rapid synthesis of chitin by newly fertilized egg. Larval stages. C. elegans comprises 4 larval stages L1, L2, L3 and L4. Complete embryonic development takes 14 to 16 hours. Newly hatched larva contain 588 cells. If crowding or starvation condition occur, L1 larva arrests itself into pre-door larva. When suitable condition occur or proper food is there, pre-door larva molted into door larva and after 3 to 4 months further molted into L4 stage larva. Cell lineage. Zygote of C. elegans exhibit rotational holoblastic unequal type cleavage and divided into large AB cells and small P1 stem cells. Most lineages consist of multiple tissue type, but P4, E and D cells give rise to a single tissue type. P4 cells provide germ cells or gonadal cells. One of these gonadal cells become anchor cell. Signaling pathway. In C. elegans, there are two major signaling pathway occur. First one is inductive signaling pathway like RTK, RAS, MAPK pathway, in which anchor cell work as inducer and VPC act as competent cells that respond to the inductive signal, that is Lin3. And second one is juxtacrine signaling or lateral signaling via delta notch pathway. It is responsible for anchor cell formation and lateral inhibition of VPC. Vulva formation in C. elegans. Vulva is the main copulating organ that forms during larval stage 3, responsible for fertilization and egg laying. Zygote divided into AB cells and P1 cells. P1 cells further divided into P2, P3 and P4 cells. P4 cells provide all gonadal cells. Randomly one of P4 cells start lag to expression in excess amount and become anchor cell. Just below the anchor cells, 11 precursor cells is present. Their natural fate is hypodermis. Out of 11, 6 will form equivalence group, means that each of 6 cells have potency to develop as vulva or called as vulvar precursor cells. Anchor cells release Lin3 molecule. Cells that receive higher amount of Lin3 molecule become central VPC or primary VPC. This central VPC inhibit neighboring cells to become primary VPC. This is called lateral inhibition. And these inhibited cells developed as secondary VPC. Cells that receive very less amount of Lin3 molecule is developed as tertiary VPC. For vulva formation, only 3 VPC is required, one central and 2 lateral. Rest VPC follow their natural fate from hypodermis. Formation of anchor cells. All gonadal cells universally express LAG2 delta-like ligand and Lin12 receptor, a notch protein. Randomly, one of gonadal cells express high amount of LAG2 and become anchor cells that inhibit neighboring cells to produce LAG2, so they only produce Lin12 and become ventral uterine precursor cells. Anchor cells act as inducer cells and release Lin3 molecule. सो दो केसेस हैं यहाँ पे लॉस ऑफ फंक्शन म्यूटेशन के, जो कि हमें यहाँ पे याद रखने हैं. पहला है कि लॉस ऑफ फंक्शन म्यूटेशन ऑफ लेग टू. सो लेग टू में अगर लॉस ऑफ फंक्शन म्यूटेशन हो जाता है तो क्या होगा, वो कोई सी भी सेल्स में एक्सप्रेस नहीं होगा और वहाँ पे एक्सप्रेशन आ जाएगा Lin12 का एंड बोथ सेल्स बिकम यूट्राइन प्रिकर्सर सेल्स. एंड सेकंड वन इज लॉस ऑफ फंक्शन म्यूटेशन इन Lin12. So Lin12 is not expressed in any cells, so the both cells are expressed by leg2 and both cells become anchor cell. Fate determination. It starts with anchor cell that release Lin3 EGF-like molecules. Their receptor present on all VPCs. Cell that receive higher amount of Lin3 molecule activate LAT23 receptor. LAT23 phosphorylate Lin31. Lin31 activate gene for central fate and it regulate Lin39. Lin39 act as transcription factor and inhibit neighboring cells by binding on Lin12 receptor and activate Lin12. After activation, Lin12 encode a microRNA MIR61. MIR61 is a post-transcriptional gene regulator that inhibits gene of central fate and activates gene for secondary cell fate in neighboring cells. Lin39 performs three functions here. First one, it encodes zinc finger protein for Lin31 upregulation. Second, it prevents fusion of VPCs. Third, it performs lateral inhibition via delta notch pathway. There are some cases related to vulva formation. First one, what would happen if anchor cell is destroyed or Lin3 release is blocked? VPC are present, so there is no primary and secondary fate developed, no vulva formation occurred if anchor cell is not present. Second one, what would happen if primary and secondary VPC are destroyed? Remaining VPC developed as primary and secondary to form vulva. Third one, what would happen if all gonadal cells are destroyed except anchor cell? Gonadal cells have no role, so vulva formation occurred if anchor cells is present. Fourth one, what would happen if anchor cells would shift right to left? Shifting of anchor cells would shift the Lin3 gradient. Vulva position shift accordingly. Fifth one, what would happen if tertiary VPC are destroyed? Vulva formation occur, no role of tertiary VPC in vulva formation. Sixth one, what would happen if lateral inhibition primary over secondary VPCs is blocked? All secondary VPC would become primary VPCs, so multi-vulva formation occurred here. If you find it helpful for you, please like and subscribe.